Analyzing A Remembrance of Forrest Fenn, the enigmatic treasure hunter and author, has left a legacy woven into the fabric of American lore with his treasure hunt that captivated thousands. His passing has set the stage for retrospectives that delve deeper into his life and philosophy. In this analysis, we will examine the article A Remembrance of Forrest Fenn published on Medium.com. We'll compare it to the distinctive styles of Jack Stuef and Forrest Fenn to decode the author's identity and intent, while also exploring the themes emphasized, particularly Fenn's eccentricity and selflessness. The content of the article paints a portrait of Fenn not just as a treasure chaser, but as a larger-than-life character. It echoes his influence and legacy in the world of treasure hunting, embedding quotes that reflect Fenn's offbeat charisma. Among those quotes is, "Because the difference between an eccentric and a kook is an eccentric has money." This quote encapsulates Fenn's self-image and adds a whimsical angle to how society views unconventional thinkers and doers. It presents Fenn as someone who fully embraced his eccentricities, a quality that endeared him to many of his followers. Quoting eccentricity, the word eccentric appears prominently in discussions about Fenn, showing that the article acknowledges the thin line he walked between being an eccentric and a kook. This observation is vital to understanding Fenn's narrative. He was a man who embraced his unique view of the world, filled with stories and treasures, offering them as a tantalizing playground for adventurous souls. The article continues with specific references like Magic Bullet and Blaze, which resonate with those familiar with Fenn's treasure hunt narrative. These coded terms highlight his creative thinking and quirky sense of adventure. It's a clever nod to followers who have spent sleepless nights contemplating the meanings behind these cryptic references. Much like Fenn, the author's choice of language invites readers into an exclusive club, one where only the most passionate participants can truly grasp the subtleties. Writing styles. Jack Stuef versus Forrest Fenn. Forrest Fenn's style. Forrest Fenn's writing style was often lyrical and imbued with a sense of wonder. His prose intertwined rich descriptions with philosophical musings, painting life as a grand adventure filled with hidden treasures and life lessons. His most notable work, The Thrill of the Chase, showcases his knack for storytelling, filled with anecdotes that captivate and inspire. Fenn's voice resonates with warmth and charisma, holding an almost poetic quality that draws readers into his world. Jack Stuef's style in contrast. Jack Stuef's writing, particularly exemplified in his blog documenting his own treasure hunting endeavors, shows a more grounded, conversational, and sometimes irreverent tone. He often employs a wit that is sharp and self-aware, infusing humor into the narrative yet remaining serious about the impassioned and sometimes contentious discourse surrounding the treasure hunt. Stuef's engagement with the community is direct, relatable, reflecting his own experiences and observations with an air of authenticity. Identifying the author. Considering the tonal qualities and the themes discussed in the article, it leans more towards Fenn's style while encapsulating some elements reminiscent of Jack Stuef's wit. However, the article's whimsical and reminiscing tone is more characteristic of Fenn than Stuef. The use of nostalgic language and a heartfelt examination of Fenn's eccentricities places the writing firmly in the realm of a Fenn admirer reflecting on his life and legacy rather than a straightforward commentary typical of Stuef. Themes of selflessness and protection. The article also delves into nuanced themes such as selflessness, particularly when discussing how Fenn's actions, leaving a chest full of treasure, serve as an expression of generosity toward strangers. The statement regarding protecting a stranger could indeed imply a deeper layer of meaning that points toward Fenn's genuine motivations behind the treasure hunt. By stating that Fenn's selflessness is the only way to describe it, the article underlines a belief that the treasure hunt was not merely an escapade to establish a legacy for fortune hunters, but a thoughtful act meant to kindle the spirit of adventure in others. This aligns closely with the ethos in Fenn's writing, illustrating a core belief that life should be about shared joy and exploration rather than selfish pursuits. Closing analysis. In conclusion, a remembrance of Forrest Fenn serves not only as a tribute, but as a testament to the complex character that Fenn embodied, one who stood as a beacon of whimsical adventure while deftly balancing the eccentric and the meaningful. While the writing merges elements from both Fenn and Stuef, it ultimately channels the playful yet reflective tone that is a hallmark of Fenn himself. The admiration expressed in the article reinforces an enduring legacy that resonates with many, an invitation to embrace the eccentric within, chase treasure, and live life with a sense of adventure. Fenn's story, echoed through such narratives, continues to inspire and mystify seekers, truly making his life and lessons irrepressibly intriguing even in his absence. How did Jack Stuef, a writer for The Onion, dupe the New Mexican editor, several mainstream news media outlets, and thousands of treasure hunters into believing he actually found Forrest Fenn's treasure? Forrest Fenn's treasure, an enigmatic puzzle that ensnared the imaginations of countless treasure hunters. Hidden somewhere in the rugged mountains of the American West, this treasure became the holy grail for adventurers and hopeful dreamers alike. Enter Jack Stuef, a writer for The Onion, who casually strolled onto the scene like a magician, revealing his final act. But did he really find Fenn's treasure, or was this a well-orchestrated ruse? The skepticism runs deep, and as we delve into the tangled web of deception, one can't help but wonder, was Stuef merely a skillful con artist, or was he, perhaps, an actor in a much larger game? The Treasure Hunt, an overview. Forrest Fenn, a former art dealer and Vietnam War veteran, made a public splash in 2010 when he announced the hidden treasure, described in his self-published memoir, The Thrill of the Chase. The treasure, a chest reportedly filled with gold coins, jewelry, and other valuable artifacts, sparked a modern-day gold rush. Adventurers poured into the woods, armed with maps, poems, and an unyielding desire to strike it rich. But as the hunt dragged on, tales of misfortune emerged, with some treasure seekers losing their lives in the process. It was a wild, wonderful tragedy wrapped in a satirical bow. Enter Stuef, cloaked in the unassuming garb of a humor writer. Stuef's entrance, faking it for the clicks like a Cheshire cat peeking from behind a tree. Jack Stuef emerged with a gleeful grin, announcing that he had actually found the treasure. Media outlets swooned. The New Mexican editor could barely grab the pitchfork and torch before running off to hunt down the story of the century. Stuef's piece, dripping with the tone of an experienced satirist, led many to the precipice of belief. Were his claims legitimate, or was this merely a prank crafted with the finesse of a seasoned Onion writer? The hysteria that followed was palpable, and the buzz magnetized thousands. Operation Misdirection. The art of duplication. So how did a writer known for satire manage to convince journalists, editors, and treasure hunters alike? His tactics relied on a masterful understanding of narrative, and perhaps a sprinkle of mischief. Stuef's announcement wasn't so much an adventurer's tale, but a carefully choreographed jig designed to entice the curious and the gullible. By blending hyperbole with vague details and a dose of witty commentary, he managed to fabricate just enough credibility to keep everyone on the hook. One must acknowledge the unenviable position of journalists in an era where traffic depends greatly on captivating headlines. The thrill of chasing breaking news might have led some to overlook the necessity for rigorous fact-checking. And lo, the charade perpetuated. In the chaos of rapidly sharing news, Stuef's flimsy announcements provided the perfect fodder for eager media outlets seeking content that created buzz and excitement. The missing treasure, where's the proof? Now, let's take a step back and assess the glaring elephant in the room. Where is the actual treasure? Following Stuef's announcement, the absence of physical evidence became a rapidly proliferating question among the millions who wanted to believe in the magic of the hunt. The treasure had been found, yet the chest remained as elusive as the Loch Ness Monster. Stuef's seemingly tongue-in-cheek claim lacked tangible proof, sending ripples of skepticism throughout the underbelly of the treasure-hunting community. Fenn, who passed away in September 2020, seemed to have bestowed upon Stuef a golden opportunity, leading many to speculate if Stuef was perhaps play-acting for a purpose, possibly funded or orchestrated by Fenn himself, to pull the curtain over other competing treasure seekers. Was Stuef a mere fabricator, or was he too, in a way, pulling a fast one, this time at the expense of those who had truthfully ventured into the wilderness? It's a puzzle as layered as Fenn's own poem. Conclusion. Beyond the fable at the end of the day, Stuef's adventure is little more than a cautionary tale about sensationalism, truth distortion, and the ceaseless human desire for excitement and fortune. By blending humor with humanity's unquenchable thirst for adventure, he turned a simple treasure-hunting story into a satirical meta-commentary on modern journalism's penchant for the sensational. Did he duplicitously orchestrate a hoax? Perhaps. Is he a master of wit and subversion? Undoubtedly. The interplay between deception and intrigue proves endlessly captivating, reminding us that even laughter can come at the expense of earnest endeavor. As Fenn's treasure sits snugly in the mountains, waiting for its true discoverer, we are left with a sharp lesson. The most exciting stories often arrive wrapped in riddles, and sometimes, just sometimes, it's the storytellers who play the most cunning games.